again, welcome to Boracia, and you're all here business partners. I heard each and everyone's voice when you dialed in. I'm honored that you're here, so let's get started and let's have fun. So in building any business, you're going to have fun, and you're going to have a great time. You're going to meet a lot of amazing people. But also, it is very important to understand that challenges and setbacks are truly, truly part of everything we do in life, and they're no different for our business program. So they are designed for our business maturity and growth. So we're going to be talking about everything and building our Boracia business, from sorting to inviting to presenting to closing and overcoming objections, and then answering some very, very good, valid questions. So take some notes. Hope you're on the webinar. Have a lot of fun. Clear your head, and be very open-minded as we discuss all these things together as a team. There are three things, as we all know, that we do in our company, primarily as the business owners. Number one is we acquire customers. Number two is we build a team of people who acquire customers. And number three, we build for events. These are the three valid things that are income-producing activities that we do toward the growth of our business. It's pretty simple. Before I jump into the core of the training tonight, I'd like to talk about this, because truly in every business, and everything that we do in life, we've got to stick to the basics. It's nice to be fancy. It's nice to think outside the box. It's nice to be innovative and creative and try different ideas, and you've got to do all of that. But the basics of what we do in Boracia as business owners from home are very simple. Number one, it's tied into why we are here, why you're on the call, why you decided to join Boracia, why you decided to go through the storms in the last few years to be here today. That why is very critical. Number two is, our commitment. This is your business, and it's your store. Like every business, unless we open our doors, it doesn't matter how great our intentions are. It doesn't matter how fabulous our products are. It doesn't matter how great our compensation plan is, unless we put an action plan and that lead to positive results. It's not going to work. So whether you are part-time, and most people are part-time here on the call with Boracia, most people should start part-time, or whether you are here full-time, at the end of the day, you've got to share the story, share the products, and share the opportunity with people, and keep on doing it. These are two things that every champion, every successful individual does. No matter what goes around, and they will. No matter what happens, and they will happen, positively or negatively, it doesn't matter. The good news, we're in the people business, and the bad news is we are in the people business. So 3 contacts a day if you're part-time, 10 contacts a day if you're a full-time. This is a guide. It doesn't mean you have to stick to it. We have a lot of people who talk to a couple people a day, and we have people who talk to 20 people a day. It really does not matter. Bottom line, when you keep on doing things time and time again, they will become a habit. So let's build a nice habit toward the growth of your business. The next step is to take action immediately, and when you go to the basics, and when you start recruiting a new team and leaders, when you have new people joining your team, it's very critical that we guide them and coach them within the next 3 days of them opening up their Boracia business to see some kind of results. And the easiest results anybody can obtain before they even receive the product is truly, and we'll discuss that later on, is to reach out to people who love them, people who care about them, and have them support their business and try these amazing, fabulous products. And when people enjoy 1 or 2 or 3 quick success stories that make a lot of sense, they are viable, then they'll know in their heart of hearts and mind of minds that this actually does work. Next is, your tasting party. This is very critical that we, each and every one of us, not only just the new people, when you start your business, when you have a new people start in your team, make sure within 10 days they go dominant. Within 10 days they hold their BCR and showcase their business to their inner circle of family and friends, and recruit a couple people and get a couple customers. Very important. The next thing we do is attend, promote the events, and you keep doing the same thing over and over. All organizations invest tens and tens of millions of dollars, and they keep going back and forth around their value proposition and what they market, their services, their products. At the end of the hour, they all come to one conclusion. Let's go back to the basics. How did we get to where we are today? How did we do it? Pretty simple. So I just wanted to food for thought, start with that. The first thing we do is, of course, sort. And sorting is really part of our business. We do not sell. People do not like to be sold. But what we do is share our product, share the opportunity, and sort through enough people every single day or whenever we can at our comfort level. We're all busy. We all have, obligations and commitments. And again, you get out of this business what you put into it. It's that simple. So what does sorting mean? We share the products and the opportunity with others at all times and give them a chance to accept or decline your offer. It is that simple. Don't take it personal. This is business opportunity. It is not intended for everybody. If it is too easy, if it is too simple, everybody would be doing it today, and that's nonsense, okay? We need to be reasonable when we build a business. Law of average does not lie. It is exciting to sort through as many prospects as possible to identify the handful of distributor partners that you want to work with, for all of you to reach your goal and enjoy the results. It's very simple. So imagine if you invested $1 million in your business today, and your goal is to go and find 5 board of directors, each and every one of them to take full ownership and accountability and responsibility to reaching their goal and help the company's bottom line reach its goal. Who would those 5 board of directors be? I mean, when you build this business, you've got to sort through enough people as a business owner until you identify who are those people you're going to deal with. Again, this isn't for everybody, and you have to be picky with who you want to work with. Who do you sort for? You want to sort for people who are looking for a business opportunity. It really is that simple. And here's the exciting part. It truly is for everybody. And a lot of people today around the world, in our country, in your neighborhood, in our city, in our state, a lot of people today and every day, and it will continue to be the case, they're looking for ways to get better. They're looking for opportunities to change, whether physically or financially. And we have solutions to both physically and financially. So all we've got to do is sort through enough contacts until we find those people who say, yes, I've been looking for something like this, for a long time. And you may have to go through quite a few people together. As a surprise, we're going tonight, we're going to be talking about inviting and presenting. Thursday night, we're going to be talking about overcoming objections and closing. Very powerful stuff that we're going to be covering on Thursday evening. So make sure you promote it, make sure you're here. And also, on Thursday evening, I'm going to promote something else, which is really working your way to ambassador and step-by-step how you get to ambassador. So a lot of exciting stuff that we're going to be discussing here. You have green apples you'll be sorting for, and these are people, as you share the opportunity or the products, they need more information, they need to think about it, and that's fantastic. They are interested, but they have questions. You need to provide them answers before they get started, okay? And the rotten apples truly are those people who this is not for them. It doesn't mean that they're rotten people. Please don't get me wrong. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean by that is, it's all about timing. Some people may be in desperate need of cash infusion. They desperately need to make additional income, but they don't want to do anything about it. It's okay. This is not their time. Their time would come. So again, you're not here to convince anybody, and this isn't for everybody. And if you have to convince someone to get in to your business and join your business, you will at some point and throughout have to convince them to stay in as well, okay? Inviting, the goal behind inviting is simply to invite people. That's it. And everyone loves to be invited to events, and how you invite with enthusiasm, with excitement and urgency. We're going to talk a little bit about that. What are the events in Boracia? We have a lot of events in Boracia, and let's talk through them real quick. You have the Tuesday night event, the Thursday night event. You have the Inside Track radio show once a month for top customer, distributor, producers. You have the BCR coffee tasting party. We have the one-on-one presentation, one-on-one webinar, weekly events, Super Saturday, regional, national. All these are events that you have to continue to promote for them in order to build your business. Here's the power and benefits of events. Number one, they attract prospects to your business. Number two, they train your team of distributors into building their business. Number three, they retain distributors in the business. And number four, the commitment gets stronger all throughout when they keep attending the events time and time and time again. Because when we hear something often enough, then that ratio gets better. Okay, you've got to believe and take action to become whoever you want to become in life. Okay, how do we promote for event? 95% of all decisions people make are based on body language. It truly has nothing to do with the content. It has nothing to do with dollars and cents. And the value proposition makes a difference, but that's not really what people buy, if you will, or what people accept. What they accept and what they want is, are you enthusiastic? Are you excited about what you're doing? Do you believe in what you're doing? Or are you hesitating? Are you doubtful? Are you dragging your feet? Are you doing it just because you have to do it? And you put the wrong urgency on yourself. Are you creating a positive emergency with great urgency because of the timing and positioning? Are you sharing stories with people? Valid stories, and we have a lot of amazing stories within Boracia. We've had them before, we have them now, and we continue to have them. Whether it's a time freedom, financial freedom, or physical transformations, or positive energy, or just the fantastic taste of the products. Whatever these stories that you or others that have enjoyed, just make sure you share them with great belief and great enthusiasm. That's really what people want to see. Never mind the garbage that goes on around, because we live in a world, sometimes that it's full of it. It's okay. You're here to build a business. Don't take anything personal. And you build with great accountability. Accountability not to others, because this is your business. You're not accountable to me. Nobody's accountable to anybody. You're accountable to yourself, to your dreams, to your freedom, to the reason to why you started this business. Very much to yourself. And that's the bottom line. So when do you promote? You promote before the event. You promote during the event for the next event. And then you promote after the event for the following event. So you keep on promoting for the events at all times, okay? And the more of this you do, the more of a habit this becomes, the better results you get. So I've put out here some pretty cool scripts, and all this will go in your back office, by the way. If you want to take photos of them, they're on your webinar. Feel free to do that. These are no secret. They're for you. And let's have fun with them. Again, this is something I put out. I'm not a genius. I'm just good enough. And if you think you're better, hey, make my day. Go ahead and twist them, tweak them, make them your style. Not just because I wrote them. It doesn't have to be that way. This is my language. I feel comfortable with it that way. If you do too, that's fantastic. If not, and you want to, redesign it a little bit, that's okay too. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a warm market distributor script. This is scripts are very important, right? And I learned that long time ago from wise people that I surrounded myself with. Actors in the big screen, as we all know, they read scripts and they rehearse them time and time again, not 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 times, tens and tens of times, and lots of hours and days and weeks and months are invested just because of that. Why? Because they don't want to lose their audience. When we're listening to their tone of voice, their body language, their facial image, when we're watching them, their smile, everything about them, they are selling us on them. They are selling us on their story. It's very critical that we understand that that whatever you say, your audience has to be believable. Your audience has to be into it. They have to believe you. Are you excited? Again, we talked about this before. These scripts are very important, and so again, you can look at that, and this is for the warm market, and I can contact somebody as simple as, hey, John, hope all is well. I'd like to have a serious business conversation with you for just a couple minutes. Is this a good time to talk? The approach is very critical, ladies and gentlemen. The approach is very, very critical. I have done few three-way calls, in the last 8 years, 2 or 3. No, I've done a lot more than that. I'm just kidding. And, some worked out pretty well, and most were miserable. They did not work at all. It doesn't matter how great the third-party expert that you put on the call, or you introduce somebody and you have a 2-on-1 meeting and you're presenting the opportunity. It doesn't matter how great you are. If the approach is wrong, you've set yourself up to fail. It's very important. So if I know somebody and I look up to them and I reach out to them about the business opportunity, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to call them and say, hey, how are the dogs and cats? How is your wife and kids? How is life treating you? How is health today? And then 2,000 hours later, oh, by the way, can I ask you a question? When you do that, you've set yourself up to fail because you've lost them. They knew that you had an agenda going into it, but you beat around the bush. They love you. This is people but however, they feel like they've been taken for granted. You don't want to do that. You have to be professional, even and especially with the people that you know and people you look up to. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. So when I contact, Marcy, and Marcy is a close friend of mine, and I look up to her, it's very quite simple. I respect her time and professionalism, and I want to let her know right off the bat, this is a serious business conversation. I need just a couple minutes. Is this a good time to talk? Right? So very important that we learn, and we will learn in closing and overcoming objections Thursday evening, is the kind of questions that we ask. Because there are good questions and there are bad questions, and we have to learn to stay away from the bad questions, what they look like, and we're going to talk about that later on Thursday evening. Very powerful. We're going to have a lot of fun with them, and there are very, very good questions that will lead to your prospect to favor your offer. It really is that simple. So if I ask Marcy right off the bat, hey, is this a good time to talk? That's a pretty good question. Why? Because I respected her privacy. I respected her time. I may not have caught her in a good time. It may be a really bad time right now for Marcy, and here I am. I'm so excited, and I talk myself out of the opportunity because I open my mouth. I keep my mouth running. I don't know when to stop. I'm excited. She knows I'm excited, but she's completely thrown off because she's not there. Mentally, she's not there. Marcy is in a different lane because of personal things going on in her life, right? So very important that you catch people, hey, if this is a business call, I need just a couple minutes, is this a good time? Right? When you get people's attention right off the bat, you set the stage right. If it is not a good time, ask them when will be a good time, and you contact them then. Next step is, great, thanks. Listen, I just launched a home-based business that makes great sense, and timing is perfect. I am looking for just a couple of people to partner with me with the expansion in your area. If I shared it with you and it made a lot of sense, assuming money is great and it would not take a lot of your time, would you be open-minded enough to take a close look and evaluate it right now? You would, wouldn't you? Right? So a pretty simple question. You can condense it. You can make it simpler. Use your own style. It doesn't matter. But bottom line is, when we approach people and they know it's a business call, and I just want to share something with you, but before I do, if it made sense, you are positioned to look at a business opportunity right now, aren't you? Because quite frankly, the reason I ask that question, because if they say no, that's fantastic. It's a numbers game. I got to sort through enough people until I find my red apple who says, yes, I've been looking for something for a long time. Talk to me. What have you got? right? This is again a business opportunity, and I'm looking for people who are seeking business opportunities. I'm not looking to convince anybody. I do not need anybody's opinion. I know who I am. I know my own skin. I'm excited about what I've got, and that is the bottom line. I can't change people. I can't change the world. I did not design and create the world. There's a higher power that created the world. I'll let them. It's their responsibility, not mine. I'll let them deal with their people. I'm not going to deal with their people. I'm pretty comfortable with my own skin. Does that make sense, folks? I hope you all understand where I'm going with that. But bottom line is, you've got to be proud of who you are, what you do, what you're promoting, the value proposition you've got at hand. You can't allow those negative voices to get in your way to achieve your goals. That's just life. It's your life. It's nobody else's. Believe me, people have their own agendas of life. So you are looking for specific people who are looking for an opportunity. If they say no, fantastic. That's awesome. That's all I want to hear. Hey, by the way, who do you know? I highly respect your opinion, value your judgment. Who do you know today who is looking for an opportunity to positively to change, their physical or their financial well-being? Who do you know? Would you be kind enough and give me a couple of referrals? Go ahead. I'm ready. So, and we'll talk about that later on, because referral business, ladies and gentlemen, is very powerful. Facebook has proved it, and so forth, right? So if they say yes, great. Let me have your cell phone, email address, and I will send you a short clip, video for you to watch, call you shortly after you follow it, and that's it. You hand them a sample if they're there, but bottom line, you pique their interest, and they're interested. And that's what you do every single day. If you have any questions, I'm going to open up the call later on, and you're welcome to ask any questions, by the way. Here's a warm market customer script. Again, this is a warm market, not a cold market, and we're going to talk about cold market for those people who want to seek cold market, and I'll address the cold market in a minute, and you're going to love it. But the warm market is great too, and I primarily use my warm market to support my products, because there are a lot of people that I love in my personal space, in my personal world, and I have hundreds and hundreds of people that I personally know, and I have not talked to them about the business opportunity because I really don't want to be in business with them. I hope that makes sense. If my grandmother, who's 93 years old, is on my warm market list, that doesn't mean I'm gonna, recruit her as a distributor partner. That's nonsense. It doesn't make sense. However, my grandmother would love to support me because she drinks coffee or tea. She needs to have positive energy. Whether she wants to burn fat or not, it's irrelevant, but she will support my business. Right? Because I reach out to her and I ask her because she loves me and I love her to support my business. So that's, again, a nice, very nice script for anybody to use, and a lot of people have pride and they don't like to ask for a favor. Well, I'm going to tell you a story, and we'll talk more about that in negotiations later on. When I started Boracia, I never forget that story. A friend of mine, his name is Charlie. Now, Charlie and I go way back until today. He is one of my best friends. I have, a handful of best friends, people I love, truly trust, because I know they've got my back, and I've got theirs, and Charlie is one of them. I've done a lot of things for Charlie, and he has done the same for me. I sponsored his children's soccer teams for their schools every single year for many, many, many years. So I never asked Charlie to do anything for me. When I started Boracia, and we used to have a 12-ounce bag of coffee, private estate, that's all we had, and it was $15.95. I called Charlie, my best friend in the whole wide world. I said, Charlie, I'd like to buy some coffee, and I'm a pretty darn good closer. I really am. I could not close my best friend Charlie to purchase $15.95 a 12-ounce bag of delicious infrared roasted organic AA Arabica coffee. I could not. And he's an engineer. I used to be an engineer. I played his game. I got suckered for his game. And we went on and round for about an hour talking about technicalities. He's an analyst. He loves to analyze stuff. He said, George, but that's too expensive. I said, how expensive, too expensive is it, Charlie? He said, well, I can go to Costco or, I can go to Starbucks. At Costco, I can get it for $7.99. I can go to Starbucks, get it for $10.99. I can go to Pete's and get it for $11.99. So you're about $4 too expensive. Now, isn't that silly? I mean, I was biting my lip. If Charlie, my best friend, was next to me, I would have let him have it. Are you kidding me right now? I don't want to remind him of all the stuff that I had done for him, but for $4, are you kidding me right now? However, it is about the principle. And I was really bothered by that. I was talking to a friend of mine who said to me, "You silly, this is different." I said, "How different?" He said, "Just call Charlie back, say, you need a huge favor from him." I said, "I don't need a favor from Charlie. I never ask anybody for a favor." He said, "Just listen to me. Just call him and say, I need a favor from you." I said, "Okay." So the next day I called Charlie, the same guy. I said, "Charlie, I catch you in a good time." He said, "Yeah, George, go ahead." I said, "I need a huge favor from you. Would you help me out?" He said, "Anything for you." "Anything for me?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, we just launched the businesses, and I need to get a few orders going to get a new shipment. And would you do me a huge favor and purchase a couple bags from me?" He said, "Absolutely. I'll do anything for you, brother." And I could not understand that. Really now, I mean, I used every technique in the books. I tried every closing ratio, line that I've learned throughout my careers. And when I asked my best friend, for a favor, he said, "I'll do anything for you." So I hope this makes sense. Our best friends and family members, people who care about us, again, we're talking about warm market right now. They don't want to be presented. They don't want to be talked into doing anything. They don't want to be sold. But humble yourself. It's okay. I learned that, and I tell you, I've had many of my friends purchase these products. Okay, so this is another one called Market Distributor Script. This is very, 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 very important. Called Market. I know it sounds cold. It is cold, but they turn pretty hot rather quickly, okay? Majority of my wealth I built based on cold market. I built Boracia from day one based on cold market. Nobody in Boracia today I knew when I started this company. Cold market is absolutely fascinating, okay? Before I talk about that, and I know nobody's strange here, you're all brothers and sisters on this call. I just want to address something here real quick. And I'm not going spiritual with anybody here. Please don't get me wrong. I don't do that. I'm strictly business. But Jesus Christ, don't look at him as from a Christian standpoint. Look at it from if you will, as a master teacher standpoint. Okay, I don't want to insult anybody if you're not Christian on the phone. So one of my fascinating stories is when he died and resurrected and came back and met with his disciples, and they were whining, they were crying, and they said, Lord, you've been abused, you've been lied to, you've been people followed you, they stopped following you, you've been spit at, they've put you, you got bleeded to death, you got crucified, even though you have done all you've done for the people, even us, your followers, we've slept with you, ate with you, drank with you, but yet when we were put to the test, we denied you, we betrayed you, we turned you in. You've been through so much, and you still did it. You still did it for all of us. And right now, we're going through a hell. We're going through a lot right now because our own people here, our warm market, our people in our area are not listening to us. They're mocking us. They're chasing us. What do we do? What do we do? And he said, go out. Go out, reach out to the non-believers, reach out to the Gentiles. All I'm saying is use it as a success story. When you're warm market, you cannot build your business, and have a sustainable business based on your warm market. I've talked to a lot of you. You reached out to me, and you said, I've run out of contacts. It's impossible to run out of contacts. We meet people every day. We run into people every day. You've got to step outside your boundary. You've got to push yourself to become uncomfortable sometimes. This is a business. It's your life. You're here to build a business. You're not here, to make friends and win people over all the time. It's not going to happen. You don't live in a perfect world. For heaven's sake, look at Donald Trump. He's now almost the president of our country. Can you believe that right now? I mean, I crack up when I see that stuff. I really do. So listen, just let it go. Let the social media go. It doesn't matter what. I had people reach out to me in the last couple of days, said, George, we're so sorry you have had to deal with this. I'm not. I'm excited that I've had to deal with all the garbage of the world. It excites me because I know that I'm getting one step closer to the purpose to why I live my life. I can't make everybody happy. Okay? Cold market is very critical. Let's go through that real quick. Let's say I met Marlon. Hey, Marlon, I'm George. Listen, I just launched a unique home-based business in your area. Tell me, might you or someone you know be open-minded enough to look at and evaluate a business opportunity right now, yes or no? Pretty nice line, right to the point, very professional. It's not insulting. It's actually complimenting. Because if I talk to Marlon, I just gave her a direct compliment that you are a business, that you are a business entrepreneur. And that is a huge compliment to anybody. And this is a line you can use. It doesn't matter where you go. Whether you grab that phone and do a cold call, if you dare to do that, or if you're in a hotel, and on a Saturday morning, and you're at the lobby, and you run into a gentleman with a nice suit, or a lady with you just walk up to them, you introduce yourself, say, hey, I just launched a business, and let's say you're from Oregon, and now you're in Northern California. You're not lying. It's the truth. I just launched a unique home-based business in your area, and I'm looking for a couple people. Might you be one of the people I'm looking for, yes or no? And they'll tell you whether it's yes or a no. They're not going to shoot you, folks. They're not going to spit in your face. It's okay to get rejected. In business, you will face rejections. I've been rejected since the day I was born. It's okay. I don't take anything personal. I love me. I love my life. I love the way I'm created. I'm comfortable with who I am. I don't take anything personal. It's business. It's a business call. If I walk up to people, listen, I'm looking for a couple of people to launch my business in your area. Tell me, could you be one of the two people I'm looking for, yes or no? And if they say yes, if they say no, next. If they say no, next. Keep in mind, some will, some won't. So what? Next, someone else is waiting. So if they say yes, great. I am marketing great tasting coffee and tea that are exclusive and actually burn fat with over 30 years of research and science. I'm looking for just 2 people to partner with me in expanding your market. So let me ask you this. If I shared it with you and it made a lot of sense, assuming money is great, and it wouldn't take a lot of your time, would you take advantage of it, yes or no? Again, the same line, create your own niche, your own line, and all of a sudden a cold lead with the right approach, if they say, sure, tell me more, will turn into a hot lead. I hope that makes a lot of sense, folks. And again, the language is great. Keep always in mind what I shared earlier. About 95% on an average of decisions that are made are based on your body language. Your shoulder, is your shoulder down or is your shoulder up? Are you walking 0.1 miles an hour or are you walking like a rhino 100 miles an hour? Are you smiling and is your smile fake? Or are you in love with the day today because today you're going to knock it out of the ballpark? People, you can't fool them. And, you have to be excited. I hope that makes a lot of sense, folks. Okay, let's move on to the referral market distributor. Referral market is a national average conversion rate of referral market is close to 80%, folks. This is in our industry. This is in most sales industry. And I don't need to sell you on that. Just, for whatever this is worth, let's just build on it. Okay? If that's the case, why are we not asking for referrals all the time? You see now why I love it when people say no to me. And trust me, I've built most of my businesses because of that, based on referral market. I loved it when people say no to me. And here's why. If they say no to me, I will ask for referrals. And they will do anything because they know me and they want to get me off their back, and I just release them from the liability of investing anything that I'm promoting to them because I said, okay, I accepted the fact that they said no, and all I'm looking for is 2 referrals. And they'll give it to me with a smile on their face. Now I'm going to contact their referral. And I say, hey, my name is George, and we have mutual friend in common, Nancy. Do you have a minute to talk? Now, once I say we have a mutual friend in common and they know who that person is and they have a high level of respect of that person, believe me, nobody will refer you anybody who disrespects them. It's not going to happen. When you ask for a referral, you can bank on it that they're going to refer you somebody that look up to them. Be proud of that. So when I contact, John, and I say, hey, we have a good friend in common. Her name is Nancy. Does that ring the bell? Oh, yeah. I love Nancy. And Nancy loves me. Listen, do you have a minute to talk? Great, thanks. All of a sudden, the referral market becomes the best market you can ever work with. I'm marketing great tasting coffee and tea. Again, I use the same lines that I use with a cold market, but now we have a common ground. Here's where it gets exciting. Now, you may say, wow, 80% conversion for the most part. Again, I'm throwing numbers at you folks based on, national averages. These numbers go up and down. Please don't, point fingers at me and say, oh, the CEO said these numbers. Okay, I'm just using illustrations here. Will it work all the time? It's not going to work all the time, but it will work the vast majority of the time. Success is what works the vast majority of the time on the vast majority of the people, not the minority of the people. That's building a successful business. Okay, so here's where it gets exciting, and I have fun with it because I've done it before many times in a couple businesses. I would call that person who said no to me, John, and I'd say, hey, John, thank you so much. And John says, thank you for what? Thank you for referring Nancy to me because she joined my business and I owe you a favor. I can give you one of two things. Please choose. I can either send you, some coffee or tea as a gift from me to you so you can enjoy. That's on me for referring her. Or, I place Nancy in a holding tank fairly enough and ethically enough because you referred her to me. The company will allow me only 3 days to place anybody in a holding tank. You never know. What if Nancy knocked it out of the ballpark? Would you like to join my company? This is your only opportunity. And you know what? You'll be amazed. You really will be amazed, the decision people make. So referral market, have fun with it. That's about inviting. I'm going to move on to presenting. Again, it's all about sales are made or lost with the words and phrases that we choose. And presenting is no different than inviting. How you present is very critical. Let's have fun with this, okay? Your presentation is extremely essential to the outcome, whether your prospect will join you or not, or buy your product or not. KISS, keep it simple, silly. Always remind yourself, don't get overexcited. Don't overkill. Don't overdo things. And unfortunately, many of us talk ourselves out of a recruit or a sale rather than ask our way into a recruit or sale. Keep in mind, whenever you're presenting, it really is never about you. You need to take yourself out of the equation. It's not what's important to you. It's not what you believe in. It's very critical that we find out and know a little more about our audience, about our prospect. Find out what their needs and desires are. Find out what moves them. What are they missing in their life? What is, and focus on those areas and address them. Okay, presenting. Let's talk about some values and benefits while presenting. Very critical. Okay, so keep these things food for thought, because you're not going to bombard people with all these values and benefits. These are values and benefits that you can use one of them, two of them, three of them. Sometimes if you have an analyst who likes to take a lot of notes and wants more, feed me more, great. Then you can provide them with all this information. Okay, so again, don't overkill. Be very careful. The less you say, the better off you are. Ask the right questions, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. So, coffee, tea, performance drinks, and sugar are simple to talk about and share. That's huge value and benefit, for any business owner. When you're talking about the opportunity with anybody, again, this is pretty easy to market. Our products are healthy, organic, or all natural. They taste great and function well. This is great value add. Now, our products are scientifically proven to be effective and supported by proper clinical studies and trials. Very, very true, very important, and again, something great to talk about and celebrate and highlight. This is a ground floor business opportunity with tremendous room for growth and proven 8 years in the U.S. market. Okay? This is an additional big, powerful value add. Thousands of people have benefited from the products with balanced positive energy and some with fat loss. Okay? Thousands of people have earned healthy part-time supplemental income, and some have created residual income as distributor partners. Tell the truth. Don't flame things up. Don't, and unfortunately, a lot of us use a different approach for building a successful network marketing business, and they set false expectations. It's great for short-term gain. And believe me, I've learned that the last 8 years with many people, great, wonderful people who came to our company, but they made a lot of false promises and set high expectations. Good people came in and invested in the Boracia business, and really breaks my heart, but because those expectations did not get met based on the promises were made, those people are no longer here. So be careful how you set this up. Trust me, when you help a lot of people get what they want, you get the things you want. 80% of our population in the United States, with the conditions and circumstances, obstacles, with both spouses working hard, trying to make ends meet, with high divorce ratio, collections, charge-ups, and so forth, and capital need, additional $300 a month positive cash flow can make positive difference to 80% of population. Why in the world would I want to focus on the rest? But if I focus only on the 80%, 8 out of 10 people, they're telling us, show me a way, simple way to make additional $300, $500 a month. Do we have in Boracia ways to promote great products and opportunity for people to generate part-time $300 to $500 a month? The answer is yes. Let's focus on that. Take them one step at a time, okay? Here's some more value add. As a distributor partner, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You get to enjoy the ability to write off many of your expenses, yet you will receive all of the support you need to build a successful home-based business. This is a very powerful statement you can use with all professionals, and they would love it. So another one. Many distributor partners and customers are enjoying hundreds of dollars in free products on a monthly basis. This is very powerful. I know a lot of people. I'm one of them. I'm saving. I cannot tell you. I'm saving, over $400 a month by not buying my Starbucks that I used to buy 3 times a day, triple grande, non-fat, extra hot, no mocha. I used to spend, you do the math, I had to have it 3 times a day, 7 days a week, not 6 days a week. I'm not the only one. Roughly 58% of the people, adults in the United States, are in the same boat between their coffee and tea buying habits. It's an addiction. It's a lifestyle. It's part of living life. So this is a true statement. It does not apply to all, but it does apply to many. Next, comprehensive virtual business online to effectively promote, run, track, and build your business and the business of many in your organization as you build it. The company spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for this online virtual system. No inventory needed to stock. You simply take orders, the company ships them directly to your clients, and you get paid weekly and monthly. Proven and complete system to learn, teach, and duplicate through your team with an ongoing training platform. Okay? So these are few of the values and benefits that will benefit other people when you're presenting. That's what you want to focus on. Folks, when you focus on value, that benefits people, money becomes non-issue. We've heard a lot of stories. We've heard the stories, of Jack Welch with GE. He took GE from $10 billion to $412 billion. Steve Jobs. We've heard the story with Apple and what happened when he built the company. He gets fired. He gets rehired because they tried different things. It didn't work, and the guy went back to the basics. And bam, took the company next level. And Boracia is no different. Building your business is no different. Every single successful man and woman around the world, they've gone through tremendous amount of hardship, disappointments, trials, and so forth until they got to where they got. Donald Trump. I don't even know. I don't think our country, our system, even knows how many bankruptcies he's gone through. And he said it in the open. It doesn't matter. The challenge is not, when you get up and you go down. The thrill and the exciting behind the challenge is when you get knocked down, can you get right back up again? And that's the beauty about this. And when we focus, both Steve Jobs and Jack Welch, among all others, they don't focus on the money. It is never about dollars and cents why people make a decision. It's about the value that you provide them that benefits them short-term, mid-term, long-term. It's about you loving them. It's about what do they like you? Do they trust you? Are they comfortable with you? Have you gotten their back? Do you believe in what you're doing? Does it make sense? Is it the right environment? Is the atmosphere healthy? All these elements will make a big difference in people's decision making. We're going to talk, I'm done for tonight except for the most important thing, and that's some questions regarding inviting and presenting that many of you have had. Number one, how to find new potential people and initiate a conversation. I think I answered that in the cold market approach, didn't I? Again, let's think about that. And I talked about this many times before. I will highlight it one more time. Folks, make no mistake about it. This is your business. This is your life. Don't pay attention to what goes on out there. Social media. The good news we're in the social media. The bad news we're in the social media. It doesn't matter what goes on around. Luck and success is when preparation meets an opportunity. Write it down. Success is when preparation meets an opportunity. Now, out of these two, here's the great news. Opportunity is constant. It will never vary. But your preparation will vary. You can't have a successful success equation if you have a constant and a variable. Constant plus variable leads to devastation. You've got to have both constant. And how you're going to succeed is you constantly being prepared. That's all. Online, offline, no line, it doesn't matter. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to take advantage of the next opportunity? Because the opportunities truly are, every human being who breathes, who drink coffee or tea, knows others who drink coffee or tea need to get fit and, want to get positive energy and make additional money. That qualifies almost every person you meet. Just think about that. 3-foot rule. Everywhere you go, it doesn't matter where you go. You go to a Starbucks, you go to a library, you go to a hotel, you put an ad in the paper, you go to a trade show, you go to a marketplace. You've got to you open up your store. You've got to talk to people. My coffee got cold, but it's still good. You've got to talk to people and open up your store about your business. You can't sit back and listen to gossips and listen to, all that crap and poisons in the world. You've got to, chase your dream. You've got to take action, okay? Next, inviting. How do I address the network marketing stigma? Okay. Well, listen, again, I talked about this a little bit. The FTC and the FDA, they're doing a fantastic job in making sure that companies do the right things, so that the consumers, receive what they paid for. It's that simple. And we, as a company, Boresha, for the last 8 years, be assured, rest assured, make no mistake about it, we have invested millions of dollars to make sure that we have everything in legal and compliant. I've made a lot of decisions as a CEO of the company. Those decisions backfired on me. Those decisions caused sales to go down. I did not care because I wanted things to be done right. People are calling me names today. It's okay. Let them call me whatever they want to call me. I'm comfortable with who I am, and I love what I do. Okay, I'm passionate about each and every one of you, and I'm building this not with the 50,000 people who have come. I'm building this with the 50 million people to come later. Okay, so, and you, each and every one of you, the 30-plus people who are on this call, you are the heart of Boresha today. I adore each and every one of you, and let's get this done together. Network marketing is the way of the future. It's a beautiful industry. It does have its good, bad, and ugly. That's okay. Here's, one quick story, and many of you may have heard it from me. A friend of mine called me one day and said, hey, we haven't talked for a while, but I heard what you've done recently, and this is, a year or so after a couple of years after I started Boresha, because I had been so busy. I had 3 businesses at the time. I didn't have time, and wife and kids, and and I didn't have time to associate with my friends. He said, so you started one of those things. I said, one of what things? He said, pyramid. Tell me you didn't start one of those, I heard you started small pyramid. I said, I did not start small pyramid. He said, thank God. I said, I started a huge pyramid. He said, and he thought I was being sarcastic. I was not being sarcastic. And this guy is a professional, well-respected dignitary of a physician. I said, Nabi, let me ask you this. I said, in where you are today in the corporate world of physicians, who's on top? Who's on top of the organization? He said, chairman of the board. I said, who's beneath the chairman of the board? He said, the CEO. And the board of directors, I said, who's beneath them? He said, upper management, C-level executive. I said, who's beneath them? He said, the middle management. I said, who's beneath them? He said, the low-end management. I said, who's beneath them? He said, the employees. I said, who's beneath them? He said, the customers who pay the bill. I said, what does that look like? And he could not answer my question. I said, you don't have to answer. I'll tell you. It's a pyramid. And Boracia is no different. You may refer it as pyramid, but here's one difference. You know who's on top of the Boracia pyramid? Who can be on top? Who can be on top is anybody. Anybody without the education, without the degree, without the skills and talents and experience, without the capital seeds needed to invest it, and they too, by referring two people to do the same, can start receiving residual income by building a healthy business model. Folks, it's very easy to fall in love with network marketing. You know, and it's really today, network marketing has gone and is about to go viral. Will there be ups and downs in the industry? There will always be ups and downs in the industry. It is unfortunate that some network marketing companies try to beat each other up and try to, make other companies look worse so that, at the cost of them looking good. I despise people who do that. If you're that great, you don't need to make others look bad. Go and show the world how great you are. But don't go in the open and bash other people and tell them how terrible they are. That's absolutely unethical. So, third, inviting. How do I handle regular people and friends versus those on Facebook? Okay, well, this is a very, very, very good question. And I think through the inviting parts with the scripts, I think we handled some of it. When you say, friends are easy to approach, you've got to categorize who your friends are. Some people, based on our connections, based on our relationships, based on what we know of one another and how long we've known one another. Some people I look up to. Some people look up to me. And some people, were just best friends or close family members. I mean, that's really, and some people are just acquaintances. We know of one another, and we've had, we've crossed paths, somewhere along the way. And each and every one of them is treated differently, just like the warm and cold market. It's very simple, because it's how you approach them. The approach is very important, and the approach really could be similar to many, except for the close family members. For the regular people and people who are friends, it's very simple. Listen, I just launched a business opportunity. I'm looking for a couple of people to help me with the expansion in your area. Might you be one of those two people? Are you looking for an opportunity right now, yes or no? Right? So your presentation, your peak interest, if you will, your sorting process approach has to be very short, sweet, right to the point, very compelling, and very inviting. Okay? On Facebook is very similar. Again, when we talk about Facebook or, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all these things, just be mindful, folks. Don't invest a lot of time on Facebook. There's some good things that can come out of Facebook, and there's some garbage as well. Okay? It's very simple, because what I love about Facebook, every one person knows a lot more people than you do. Every one person on an average has about 500 friends on Facebook. And you can tap into that market, and all you've got to do is really, I hate to say it, you don't know these people, but you can very kindly, very gently, without sounding like you're selling them anything, just ask them a simple question. We have mutual friend in common, John Smith, and I just have one question. I just built a business in your area. I'm looking for a couple people to help me with the expansion. Might you be looking for an opportunity at this point, yes or no? It is non-threatening, folks. It's very complimenting. You're not selling anything. You're asking if people are looking for an opportunity. That simple question, you can take it and copy-paste it and let it go and send a message to folks on Facebook or anywhere on LinkedIn or anywhere on social media. It's a numbers game. You will never know. Just because, 10 people said no to you, you're getting very close to a yes. If 20 people said no to you, that's exciting. You're getting very close to a yes. It's a number game. I don't need the whole world to say yes to me. I just need a handful of people and duplicate the same process. Presenting. How to address resistance to sampling, which is expensive. Really, how expensive is that? Let's think about that, right? When we look at and we're not going to talk about dollars and cents, folks. This is a business. And, if we take a look at how many we are sampling per day, even if you are sampling 1 sample per day, that's 7 samples. As we know, first of all, one of the way to address that is with the Be Free with 3. And we have many distributors today, they receive up to 300, I think 320, or maybe it's a little less now. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know the exact number. Let's assume it's $320. Let's say you're receiving $320 on free products. Folks, that's a lot of sampling. These products that we put out on the Be Free with 3 by simply referring 3 customers and more, and it keeps on ramping up for free. These are designed for your sampling pleasure. Okay, though it should not be an expense. Now, even if you're a brand new distributor, I love our Be Free with 3. And not only our Be Free with 3, with Boracia, you don't need to buy a single product to qualify. And that's one of the biggest issues with the FTC regarding WIMO, because they forced people, or they suggested people to get on AutoShip or blah, blah. With Boracia, you don't need to buy a single product. You can refer 3 customers and above to buy products, and you will get paid. So it's pretty cool. There are many ways to overcome this resistance. Is it expensive to some folks? It may be, but this is a business opportunity. Keep in mind, when you are sampling, non-consuming, it becomes a tax write-off. Again, this is a business. We didn't tell you that this, you're going to come in and, you're going to spend money. Let's talk about the cost. Really, what does it cost, to maintain your Boracia business on a monthly basis? If you have your customers, you really are not buying any products at all. In fact, we send you up to $320 plus your earning income. So how much is it going to cost you? As a business builder, it shouldn't be costing you any money. Next, how do I start talking about the amazing, and by the way, I'm not going to talk more about the expense, and because I will address that on Thursday evening, and you're going to love it. Okay? When do I start talking about the amazing products without overwhelming people? Oh boy. Keep it simple, silly. Always keep that top of mind. It's not about me. It's not tell your story. Okay? Share your story. Share the story of other people, and give people an opportunity to try them. Make a purchase for 1 month. If you like it, great. I'll show you how you can get it free. If you don't like it, I will never ask you to buy it again. It's pretty simple. But don't overkill. Okay? How do I overcome mind blocks of what to say? A 30-second commercial. Oh boy. We will talk about that on Thursday as well. How to approach businesses with a specialty account opportunity. Now, every business is different. Number one, whether it's small business, mid-sized business, or, large-sized business, okay? Number one, you want to talk to the decision maker. It's very critical. When you walk into a hair salon, find out who is the decision maker. You could have a manager in the front desk, but that manager is not a decision maker. You could go in there and you have the right intentions. You have the most amazing products, and we have a killer program, for commercials, but you're talking to a hairdresser. I'm sorry. That's not going to get you anywhere. So number one is you want to make sure you're talking to the decision maker. Okay? Number two is you want to make sure you catch them at the right time. Immediately make sure that they know what this is all about. I have an amazing opportunity. We have coffee and tea. We have great values and benefit for your entity, and I'd like about 5 minutes of your time. Is this a good time, or when can we meet? Then you'll make an appointment with them. You have to respect their time, and then you present the opportunity to them, based on what we showed you at the National. Okay? So I think that's it for now. Thursday evening, it's been a great hour. I've enjoyed it very much. Thursday evening, we're going to talk about closing. We're going to talk about negotiations, if you will, and overcoming objections. When I say negotiation, how you negotiate your way out of current situations. That's what I mean by that, and more to come. So with that said, I thank you. Marlon, if you want to open up the call, if anybody has any other questions, I would love to answer them.
Can you tell me what's a good time to make these calls? I analyze myself out of what's the best time to make cold calls.
When is the best time to make a cold call? You got cut off a little bit in the beginning of your question.
That was it. Just what's the best time?
The best time is when you're ready, when you're excited, when you're happy, when you're ready. And again, it's called, and it depends on whether you're contacting a business, you're contacting a home. You just ask for referrals and you contacted referrals. When you contact, always ask them, is this a good time? It's always a good time for you. Is it a good time for them? And the first question you want to ask them, hey, I'm calling about a business opportunity. Is this a good time? Can you talk now?
I've been doing a lot of vendor events. And so these are very, cold people I'm just meeting. What would you say to them, or somebody who you're just letting them taste the coffee? What would you say if you're standing at a vendor event?
If you're, just have them taste the coffee. Are you serving coffee at the event?
Yes.
Okay, and what's your goal? Is your goal to market the products or the opportunity?
Mostly I was market the products, at least get them as a customer, start there. That's what I was doing.
Absolutely. It depends on the event. Some markets, they are product driven. Some markets may be business opportunity driven. It depends on where you're at. So if it is product driven, lead with the products, and you may at some point, end up with the opportunity, but lead with the products. The best way is to have them taste it. Listen, when they taste the product, they're going to love it because our product tastes that great. And have some stories, with you. Have some pictures before and after for some folks there with you, and maybe you want to play the product video.
Don't always have electricity.
Just be excited.
Yeah, I am. Okay, but when I call them back, I'm getting their names and numbers. That's where it stalls. I really don't know what to say to them, how to get them to go that next step.
That's a great point, Julie. So very simple. You're following up, and following up is very important. So if I'm talking to Jonna, and she was one of my prospects, and I give her a call, hey, Jonna, this is Julie. We met at the market, and you tasted my coffee, and I got your permission to give you a call. Here I am. This is a good time. Can you talk real quick? Again, you always want to get permission. Number one is, can we talk now? Number two, I'm doing a follow-up. How did you enjoy my coffee? Do you have any questions? Just ask her, how did you enjoy the coffee? Do you have any questions? Okay. Would you like to place an order?
And if they say no, then ask for referrals at that point?
You can. I always love referrals.
Okay. Again, or ask them if you could send them some more information through an email, correct?
That's fine too. Get their permission. When you get people's permission, I always ask a beautiful line when people reject me, and it served me pretty well. And especially when they say, you know what, I'm not interested now, I need to think about it. I always tell them, that's fantastic. I'm glad you need to think about it. That tells me you're interested, but you need more information. Do I have your permission to keep you posted in the near future with more information that could benefit you? And people normally, especially when you take that release off them, they love it. So you have people's cell phone number and email address. Make sure you always obtain those two information and send them an email. Now, and we'll talk about more on how to overcome objection and all that stuff on Thursday evening. Well, love to all. God bless you. Have a good evening, and I'll see you 6 o'clock sharp Thursday evening. Good night.